Well, coming up next, the pans are simmering and the aroma in the studio, it's smoothing. Chef Elizabeth Yarnell is stirring up some great ideas from her book, Glorious One-Pot Meals. You'll definitely don't want to turn the channel. You need these recipes. Well, just in case you didn't get your fill of family cooking, or perhaps you're just yearning to use those new pots your mom gave you, we have the perfect answer to some good cooking using just one pot.
Just one pot. And our answer is Elizabeth Yarnell, author of Glorious One-Pot Meals and chef extraordinaire. She's returning to Colorado and Company and our kitchen to give us inspiration for home cuisine. Welcome back to the show. It's great to see you. You know, this is once again, you know, you wish you had Smell TV because it smells absolutely fabulous. Now, you're a patented inventor and a celebrated chef. Now, how did the two of those kind of come together?
Well, you know, I became an inventor out of necessity. What happened was about 10 years ago when I was 29, I woke up one morning and I was blind in one eye. And it turned out I had multiple sclerosis. Oh. So, as you can imagine, it was quite a shock. Yes. And I wanted to figure out what I could do to be more proactive about my future and my health. And I dove into research, and what I learned was that the best thing I could possibly do was to eat a healthy diet. And I thought, great. But I don't really know what that means.
Chef is born.
Right, exactly. So I had to learn how to cook, and I had to learn what is a healthy diet, and really what it all comes down to is whole foods instead of processed foods. That's what I believe in anyway. And then I have MS, so fatigue is a big issue, and cooking all day is not appealing or realistic for me. So I ended up throwing all my food into a Dutch oven and tossing it into a super hot oven, and it worked.
One-pot meal?
So
One-pot meal.
MS is what kind of moved you to make sure that you eat a healthy diet.
It's true,
Right.
because multiple sclerosis is such a capricious disease. It really is a snowflake disease. It affects everyone differently. But, you know, at 29, it's pretty scary to look at your future and say, I'll probably end up in a wheelchair if I don't change my life.
Yeah. So when was the aha moment for you when you realized, wow, considering all the things I got going on in life, one-pot meals would be not only ideal for me, but my gosh, for probably a lot of other people who not only might be afflicted with MS, but just because we're all so busy and don't have any time.
It's true, it's true. And it's funny because when I first started cooking this way, I never thought it was that special because it was just the way we cooked and ate, and it was really good and very easy. And then we had a house guest who came with us and spent a week at our house, and at the end of it, she asked me to teach her how to cook like this. And so I wrote it all down, and that's how it started.
Brilliant idea, and love the book, too. I have a copy of your book.
Thank you.
So you brought along a great recipe today. It's going to be easy. Show us how to do it.
This is a recipe from the new version of the cookbook, which just came out this week. Very exciting. This is called Feta shrimp with roasted tomatoes, and we're going to make it with whole wheat couscous today. So the first thing we want to do, as always, is to spray the inside of our cast iron Dutch oven, and this is just an olive oil spray.
You know what I thought you were going to say? First thing you always do is clean the pot.
That's the last thing you always do.
Mine usually get a little dusty before.
I haven't used it much in a while.
Okay, so we just sprayed the pot with some olive oil, and this is some couscous. The recipe's up on your website, so I'm not going to do quantities here. But we're going to put in the couscous, and then this is the liquid from the can of roasted tomatoes that I squeezed out. And we're going to put that in here. And I want to give it a little swirl so all these little grains of couscous get touched.
Yeah.
There we go. Exactly. Exactly. Now the next thing we're going to put in is some, we're going to mix up our what's it called? Shrimp. Okay. So these are the fire roasted tomatoes that I drained. And this is about half a pound, 3/4 of a pound of shrimp, and they've been peeled and deveined. And then to that, we're going to add some parsley here that I've already chopped up. Sure. You want to put in the feta?
Do we need to mix this?
Yep, it needs to be mixed around. That would be great.
I get to do the mixing.
What do I do with this?
Into there.
Oh, I do this in there.
Yeah, and there's one more thing that goes in there too.
What he's dumping in right now, what kind of cheese?
That is just feta cheese.
Feta cheese, okay.
And you can squeeze some of that in. We want about 1 tablespoon worth, so just try not to get any seeds.
Who gave him a lemon? Who's dumb enough to give Mark a lemon?
Here's a towel. You can throw that back in here.
That's right, baby.
No, my philosophy is lemons into lemonade.
Oh, okay.
That's what I feel like my life has been.
Very
good.
That, you know,
Okay. So
everything that's happened to me has turned out to be such a good thing.
positive.
Exactly.
For it.
Exactly. So before we toss those in, we're going to just put in some spinach, and these are just baby spinach, so I'm not even going to chop them because they're already basically
Putting in
pre-chopped.
the mixture there.
I'm just going to put them on top.
Okay.
And normally I would put the spinach on the very top of the pot, but they get a little brown. So in this recipe, I like to keep them a little prettier. And you're not going to believe that we're like almost done.
Wow.
Really? That's
Yeah,
it?
that's it.
And then you just put all that
Then
in
we're
there?
just going to drop this on the top here.
Okay.
No, this is it.
How
And then
many
you
does
just
this
cook it?
serve?
This is going to serve 2 people, or as I like to say, it'll serve myself, my husband, and my 2 toddlers. So 2.5 people, really. And then the last thing we're going to put on the top here are some
Cucumbers?
zucchinis.
Oh, zucchini, excuse me.
But
Okay.
that looks like cucumbers.
Yeah.
So I
Thanks
just
for saving me.
chop these in half and slice them up. I'm going to slice up the rest of that here.
Okay.
And really, that's the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got about a minute left. I'm curious now. So it's been about a decade since you were diagnosed?
Yep.
So, I mean, you seem, well, you are. You're so vibrant. I think you talk about this last decade of your journey. It's been, you just talked about it. You've turned these lemons into lemonade.
Well, you know, it's really funny. I was just telling somebody the other day, I'm so glad this happened to me because if I hadn't gotten MS and had a health crisis, I would still be eating gummy bears for breakfast, having terrible health lifestyle, and who knows what other damage I'd be doing to my body.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me personally, it has been a great thing. I am healthier now than I've ever been before or after the MS.
You look
Yeah,
fabulous.
you look
Thank
great.
you.
And what a great meal, too. Thank you so much. We're going to tell them how they can pick up your book.
Great.
And it does.
That's
it
the
smells
finished
delicious.
product,
Yes,
isn't
did
it?
you see the finished product? I don't know if I should move it.
Yeah, Mark's like, I need to try it.
I see it. I wish my arms were
Where's your
longer, I'd
fork,
grab it.
Mark? Where's your fork?
You can meet the beautiful author Elizabeth Yarnell in person tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Tattered Cover Bookstore in Highlands Ranch. It's a launch party for the new glorious One Pot Meals cookbook. And guess what? You can also find out today's recipe. It's on our webpage at coloradoandco.com. Just simply click on recipes. And to learn much more about Elizabeth, log on to elizabethyarnell.com.
And in case you would like your very own copy of her new edition of Glorious One Pot Meals, we have a few to give away. Just go to her website and tell us what year she was diagnosed with MS. It is in her bio page. Email us the answer to coco@9news.com. We'll let the winners know after the show that they have won. Now remember, duplicate emails from the same address, that's a no-no, and they will be voided.